Good morning, good morning, good morning. Coach Joy here, doing a little quick pick me up for the beginning of your day. I wanted to talk a little bit about asking why. You know, my father, when he died in 2009, I was so hurt and I was asking God why. I don't know about you, but I was always taught you didn't question God. If something happened, if something um, that hurt your heart, someone died, you just didn't question God. That's what I was always taught. But in 2009, God gave me a revelation. If I don't ask why, then I won't have the answer. And then I had to find a scripture to help support me asking God why. I said, God, why did this happen? We prayed in faith. We believed he would be healed. And I was going on and on and on and asking God why. all with this thing in my heart saying, oh, but I shouldn't ask God why. But I felt so compelled to ask God why. And so God answered my why. God answered my why. He took me back to a moment where my father had said, Joy, I need you to pray for me. And I said, okay. I said, God, Daddy, we're going to believe that God's going to heal you. And I prayed for my dad. And after I got finished praying, he looked at me and he said, I've done all that I can do on this earth. I did the best I could for you girls and your mother. I'm going away from here. And I went on to say, no, Daddy, we're going to believe God. We're going to trust God for your healing. And God took me back to that moment. I could see it just as plain as day. I asked God, why did you let this happen? Why did he not get healed? And God gave me my why before I even asked the question. My father told me he'd done all the work. His race was completed. He had finished the race that God had set before him. And he was ready to go. So I asked the why and got the answer before I even had asked it. So this is what I'm saying. Let me read James 4, 1 through 3. James 4, 1 through 3. What is causing the quarrels and fighting among you? Isn't it the whole army of evil desires at war within you? You want what you want. You want what you do not have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You are jealous for what others have, and you cannot possess it. So you fight and quarrel to take it away from them. And yet, the reason you do not have what you want is that you don't ask God for it. And even when you do ask, you don't get what you want because your whole motive is wrong. You want only what you want, and you want only what will give you pleasure. I've heard that scripture my whole life. You have not because you ask not. And if you ask and you don't get it, it's because you ask amiss. Your motives are wrong. So what I learned is when I'm reading the scripture, when things happen, I ask God why. God, why did this happen? Why did Moses strike the rock instead of speak to it? Why did the children of Israel complain? We can ask God why. The why is where the answer is. But all those years, I was taught not to question God. And I get it. I get what they were saying. Don't question with the wrong motives. Don't question God about his sovereignty. But we can ask God questions. We can ask him why. And I asked why, and he gave me the answer before I even asked the question. So if you have something you're pondering before the Lord or something that has happened in your life, asking why, in my opinion, helps us get deeper, draws us to God. He can handle our questions. When I was told don't question God, don't ask him why, that made me think that it was some things I couldn't go before the Lord with. And it made me think that some things were off limits. God's a big enough God to handle any question we can give him. He can handle our frustrations. He can handle our hurt. He can handle our bitterness. He can handle our joy. He can handle anything concerning us. So if you have something before the Lord, ask him the simple question: why, God? Why do I need to do this? Not in a defiant way, but with heart motives to say, God, I really want clarity. I really want you to answer me. And this goes back to a little understanding that I can give you for your kids. When children ask why, it's not because they're bucking the system. They're not challenging your authority. Children in their mindset really want to know why. So when they say, why do I have to go to bed? And you say, because I said so. That's not answering the question why. And that's not making it a space for them to come and freely ask and talk to you. So if the child says, why do I have to go to bed? Even if they say it with a little attitude, you can answer the question why. Because it's 9 o'clock and you need to go to bed and get your rest. And mommy wants to make sure, or daddy wants to make sure that you have enough sleep to get up and go to school in the morning. That's a better understanding for a child than to say, because I said so. That didn't answer the question why. And God doesn't do us that way either. So I want you to have a good day. I want you to think about your heart motive and asking God the questions, the heart questions. Why do I keep going around this same thing? Why do I keep having these highs and lows? What is it that I need to do, God? Why has this come into my life? Why has this happened? In order to get understanding and clarity with the right motive. God honors that. So ask the question, because why is where the answer is. Selah. I wish you much love, peace, and authentic joy. You guys have a great day.